what's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about some not so great products. I'm gonna do an anti-haul, but I figured it'd be more productive if I talked about stuff that I did buy and regret, because not only do I know that I don't like them, I also know why. With an anti-haul, it's just kind of like, I don't want that shit because of X, Y, and Z. And while that's plenty of fun, and I'll totally still do those in the future, I think it's really helpful to know why I actually went ahead and purchased something and why I feel like maybe I shouldn't have, you know what I mean? Before we get started, please do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you're new here, I would love to have you stick around. So I'm gonna give you a moment to go do that. It's right down there, and I'm silently judging you if you don't. And just to be clear, all of these products are things that I purchased with my own money. I did not include anything that I was sent because I don't think it's fair to say things I regret buying if I didn't buy them, obviously. And all of these actually come from brands that I love a lot of other products from. Just, I hate that I have to say this in advance, but I feel like I do anyway because people take things the wrong way. Not shitting on any of these brands. Literally every single one of these brands is a brand that I use things from all the time on a regular basis, and some of them are my holy grail. It just so happens that these particular products don't work for me, which is fine. Maybe they work for you, I don't really know, but they are not working out for me, and I'm gonna tell you why, because I love to hear other people's experiences with this stuff and be a more informed consumer myself. So, with that all out of the way, let's jump into these products. The first item on the agenda is the Maybelline Master Chrome. This highlight, this is what it looks like. It looks really beautiful in that pan, sure does. This is like all over social media. Everybody says how it's the best drugstore highlight out there. I have to be honest, I don't really like it at all. It's not very poppin', it's a little chalky. It feels super buttery in the pan, like when you just put your finger in it or whatever, but it doesn't. The finish is just a little bit dry looking for me. It gives me like eyeshadow vibes more than it does highlighter vibes. I don't feel like it's very bright, and not every highlighter has to be super bright, but I specifically bought this because everybody said it was the most blinding highlight from the drugstore. I do not find that to be the case. The color is not really very exciting, and when I wear it, I just feel like maybe like my makeup could look better. So yeah, I don't think I would purchase this one again. I'm not sure how much this costs. Hold on, I have my laptop here, so I'm just gonna keep my laptop open. I'm gonna ask Google how much this cost because I forgot. Stand by. $7.99. It costs $7.99 from Target. So it's not like I wasted a ton of money on this, but I would rather save up a little longer though and buy a Becca one or an Anastasia one or something else than to have this in my collection. I really just feel like I'm probably never going to use it again. All right, the next item, I'm really, truly sad that I'm regretting this purchase. I really am, because I was so excited for it. Oh God. Oh God, I'm breaking everything. Well, I just dropped it all over the floor and it didn't break, so that's a positive thing. So yeah, I was really excited to have this item. I went out of my way to purchase it when it launched, and I'm pretty disappointed with how it performs, unfortunately. And I really hate to say this because I usually love these. This is the Mel Cosmetics She's in Parties stack. It's the most recent stack that they released. First of all, if you want to draw me in on a makeup product, name your products after a Bauhaus song and a Misfits song. Like She's in Parties, Last Caress, like I was all over it. I was all over it instantly. My inner goth girl was just like, give it to me. I really liked the way the swatches of the highlight shade Skeleton Kiss looked. To be honest, this shade is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The shade She's in Parties, which is like this kind of maroonish sort of a shade, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with that either, but it's not anything special. I did a look on my live stream on Instagram recently though, using the Last Caress shadow, which I was so excited for, and Mean Streak, doing like just like a matte smoky eye, and they are so patchy and difficult to work with. I could not get a smooth look with them at all. I got them to work enough, that I felt comfortable with the look on the live stream and I finished the look, but when I took photographs of it, I could still see patchiness right through the shadows to the point where I couldn't even like edit it to make it look good, and I never even posted the photos. So a couple of the shades in here are fine, but that alone is not enough to make me happy that I purchased this stack. To be honest, like I feel like the colors are a little bit more boring in person too than they looked in the swatches, so I don't know, overall, I was just disappointed with this, especially because I really love my Melt Cosmetics stacks in general, like the Rust stack and the Heavy Metals stack, I think it is, whatever, the Gunmetal stack, that's what it's called. The Gunmetal stack are some of my favorite eyeshadows that I own, so I really had high hopes for this. The Mean Streak color, that dark purpley plum color, was the one that I was most excited for, and that was the one that was like super streaky, and so, I don't know, I was just kind of bummed. Not super pumped for this at all. I'll definitely get some use out of some of the shades that are in there, but overall, it's just for 48 bucks, I just thought it was gonna be better. It's actually not super surprising because I did a first impressions on this with like a bunch of other stuff. This is Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Freshly Baked, which is part of the Candy Johnson collection. I love Candy Johnson. I think she's like the sweetest person that ever lived. I've never met her in person, but I've heard wonderful things about how she is in person too. And also, she's kind of the person who inspired me to get back into makeup when I was doing fine arts for a while. So I love her to death. But this lipstick, it smells fantastic and the color is absolutely beautiful, but it makes my lips look like an old lady's butthole. Like, it's so crinkly and dry after maybe 20 minutes of wearing it, and I tried so hard to like it because I really love the color of it. It's such a beautiful pink. It's just so like, it emphasizes every single line in my lips and makes them look like I just can't. I tried really hard to like it. This was actually my favorite item in that first impressions, but it actually wound up still being kind of a fail. I literally have reached for it one time to do a lip art with it since then, and it made it so difficult to do the lip art because it was so wrinkly. So yeah, not pleased with this, wouldn't recommend it. I don't know if it's available anymore anyway, but I think the melted matte formula is just not for me because I bought one of the dark shades before and that too was real wrinkly. So yeah, I think that just maybe the melted mattes in general would not repurchase. All right, next I have another lip product. This is the Becca Liquid Crystal Gloss in the shade Opal Jade, I think it's called. Where are you at? Opal Jade. Yes, Opal Jade. I'm not sure how the shade translates on camera, but it's absolutely beautiful in real life. It is very pretty, like a shimmery pink with an opal green jade shift to it. It looks gorgeous. However, I find myself never reaching for this just because it feels super gritty on my lips, and this is how it looks on the back of my hand, and as you can see, the opalescence of it doesn't really translate once you spread it out. Like, it looks great in the tube, but I don't find that that looks like striking on the lips the way it looks in the tube and the way a lot of other opalescent lip glosses look when you apply them. So it's just been something that's been sitting on my desk. I wore it once or twice. I was like, oh, this is pretty, and I never reached for it again because yeah, it doesn't look that exciting. And it also is very gritty, so like I feel every little bit of glitter. Like honestly, even rubbing it on the back of my hand with my finger, I could slightly feel the grittiness of the glitter with my finger. So if you can imagine the sensitivity of your lips, like how much that picks it up, it's just, I find it very uncomfortable to wear. And these are not cheap, so I'm very disappointed. Hold on, let's look up the price for this too, since I've got the computer right here. Stand by. Sephora Becca Lip Gloss. $34. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm lying. That's a set. Thank God, I almost shit my pants. It's $22. That's still expensive. That's not cheap. The $34 is for a duo with a highlighter, which is fine. That's acceptable. But yeah, overall, like, this isn't terrible. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a perfectly normal lip gloss. But for the price and for what I thought it was going to be from how it looked on the interwebs, I was just disappointed and I regret my purchase quite a bit. Okay, then the last two items that I have here are eyeshadow palettes. The first one that I regret buying is the NYX Ultimate Brights palette. I purchased this, I believe it was for a all drugstore first impressions video, and I picked it up under the assumption that the NYX shadows would be better quality and would probably replace the bright shadows from my Morphe 35B palette, but quite the contrary. I find that these are not nearly as good quality as the Morphe 35B. I know a lot of people don't love Morphe, but to be honest though, I got 35 colors in that. It was barely more expensive than this NYX palette. These NYX Ultimate palettes, I think they're $17.99. Again, let's ask the audience. Yep, $17.99. So yeah, it's not cheap. You get less colors, and I just didn't find that the color payoff for a lot of these were that great. I thought that they could have definitely been better. Overall, with the exceptions of the prismatic shadows, I don't really love NYX eyeshadows. I love NYX as a brand. They are freaking fantastic. Like, they're one of the best brands out there, hands down. It's just that their shadows are one of those things that has just never worked for me personally. Long story short, I prefer the Morphe 35B over this any day of the week, and I think the color choices in it are much better anyway, so if I could go back, I definitely would not purchase this again. Now that we've built my Morphe 35B palette up, let's take them down a peg, shall we? I'm just joking around, but just ironically, the next palette that I regret buying is one that I bought recently, and that is the Morphe 15N palette. The formulas in here are actually really nice. I really like the way they've redone their packaging. Everything about this, there's just nothing wrong with this palette. I just don't know why the fuck I bought it, honestly. Like, I bought it in conjunction with the 39A palette, which, by the way, I know I haven't done a proper full review on that yet. I just haven't. It's just been a crazy week. Thanksgiving, I didn't feel well yesterday. I normally would have filmed all day yesterday. I didn't film at all. I was not feeling myself whatsoever. But for those of you who are wondering, I absolutely love the 39A palette. I think it's probably one of the best palettes that Morphe has ever put out. Besides the Jaclyn Hill palette, those two are kind of on par with each other in my opinion. I highly recommend the 39A if you're looking for something that has a good mix of like bright, exciting colors with like classic neutrals, something you can make like a total artistic eye look out of, or totally like plane it down and make it really, really like everyday. It's really a great palette. This is just, honestly, it's just shades that I already own. There is literally nothing in this palette that I needed, that I would find exciting. I don't know why I bought this. I just got caught up in the hype, and I was like, I gotta try those new smaller Morphe palettes, gotta do it, and I just bought it because I was like, cool, I'll buy it. And I'm just sitting here like, should I maybe give this to my sister or something? Because like literally every single shade in here is just something I already have in some other palette or very similar. So there was just really no reason for me to buy this. There's nothing wrong with the palette. It's lovely. The pigmentation is fantastic. It's just literally, I'm so dumb. Like, why did I'm having buyer's remorse, and it's on my own fault, okay? That's what the reality of this is. Not only do I have these other colors in several other palettes, I have them from Morphe. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? So that's pretty much it. Those are all the products that I really regret buying. Nothing crazy, just things that I thought that, you guys need to hear what I didn't like too, because hello, there were plenty of things that I didn't wind up liking, you know what I mean? Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, because that really helps me out. It helps more people see my stuff. It helps me to know that you guys are enjoying this content. It's just overall, it's a good thing, and I would really appreciate it. Just tap it, just tap the like button, and just do me that favor. Also, do not forget to subscribe. I don't know why I'm doing finger guns, but subscribe if you haven't already, because it's the best way for us to stay in touch here on YouTube. I don't know what this is. And also don't forget to follow me on social media. I am at Msquinnface on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all of the platforms you could ever want to find me on. I'm at Msquinnface on all of them. Like, even ones that I don't post on, I'll probably have an account on there called Msquinnface. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. I always appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.